Well, let me attempt to make comments without saying I clearly understood your question. But
Let us talk about Peter Obi's John Hopkins interview. John Hopkins interview is a university. You know how this man loves education so much. So let's talk about his interview. This thing brought a buzz here in Nigeria that he is demarketing Nigeria and all of that. The opposition and their trolls. And just like Peter Obi said on that interview that they pay some people 20,000, 40,000 naira to troll people who are not supporting them, who are speaking out against the past governors, to troll them on social media. And that is true and that is fact. We saw the results. So many people are trolling what he said. But let's dwell on what Peter Obi said. You know, I will show us part of the video. Peter Obi Peter Obi is not someone that likes to demarket, but he likes to speak of the problems. He speak on the problems and then give you solutions. Give you solutions. Now, if you listen very carefully to what Peter Obi said on that interview, he said Nigeria has a great potential. Africa has a great potential, and Nigeria in specific has a great potential. This part they just forgot. The only part uh, that stuck to their ear and to their brains and to their mind was the part he said people are being given 20,000 and 40,000 naira to throw people online. But they left out the parts he actually marketed Nigeria, that Nigeria has a great potential in terms of human capital and natural resources. And Nigeria population has a teeming youth of 60%, which means human capital is over exceeding. If investors should come to Nigeria, workers is not the problem. He is actually marketing. If you listen to what he said on that, he is actually marketing Nigeria. If he is telling them over there that we are 60% of Nigerian population are youths, strong and able youths that are ready to work, and we have the natural resources and we have the human capital, we have everything laid down for people to come and invest in Nigeria. But then he is still pointing out something that is wrong in the country that needs to be fixed. If you listen to if you listen to him very well, and if you get his standpoint is more of is crying out that Nigeria has all it takes to get what it wants, to be at the top. But these are the things that Nigeria is facing that is bringing us down. That is more like his standpoint. But it is sad to see that some people took it out of context because they know, not just because they believe, because they know that their present administration, the person that they call their messiah is not actually doing anything, and that's person they call their messiah has destroyed everything that has to do with Nigeria. You heard what Peter Obi said there, that if you go to Singapore, if the president wants to travel, he lets the people know. The president wants to travel, Indian prime minister, he lets the people know. He gives examples. But in his own country, he does not know where his leaders are. When they were traveling, Tinubu told us that he's going for retreats for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, he did not tell us whether they extended the retreat or he himself decided to extend his stay. We do not know. So how is he demarketing in Nigeria? And coming to the part that this man that does not normally say anything, we don't hear him speak unless he is told to speak. The governor of Lagos State, Shomole, I know the man is doing his own bit, but he knows that the person he calls his godfather in politics is not actually doing anything. That was why he attacked Peter Obi, saying Peter Obi did not build any hospital, did not build any school and whatnot. If you remember, Peter Obi was the governor of Anambra State from 2007, 2006, but he was impeached, which he was brought back in 2007, 2014. Can you tell me any governor within that his era that could measure up with Peter Obi? Any governor at all, even that of Lagos State, which is what's his name again? I've forgotten his name. Can anybody measure up to Peter Obi? You know that Peter Obi In education, Anambra was about 26 in WAEC and JAMB, but he took Anambra, talking about Peter Obi did not build any school. In what context is it, are they actually, because they have taken from the template of this man that talks anyhow, does not have any direction. Reno Omokela did not build any school. From what context are they talking that he did not build any school in Anambra? Because everybody know quite well that when he came in, he actually built this. He actually built, rather than building new schools, he built on the existing ones. That can still be counted as building school. Are they talking about building school in terms of building new school and then giving it a name rather than building on existing name? Let me leave that on apart. But we know quite well that he did all he could for education. Even after leaving office, he's still going to schools, giving schools money, his own personal money, not money from anybody, his own personal money. They are talking about Peter Obi invested the state money into his business, but he left $150 million, 150 million naira, and about 70 something million dollars in the state purse. So where did the money come from? If he actually invested the money in the in his family business. So in the context of to me, the context of that of what Peter Obi is saying, he's more of crying out for help. That look, Nigeria has the potential. We have the natural resources. The youths are there. Everything is there for Nigeria to grow. But these are the problems. These are the things that is pinning us where we are today. Corruption, and bad leaders. Leaders without foresight. Leaders who does not care whether we are growing or we are not. We are talking about how the economy is probably, our GDP is dropping, but the president of Nigeria is busy going to France and coming back, going to France and coming. He does not even care. So instead of listening and then looking for how to bring, maybe even asking Peter Obi, okay, what is your suggestion? Bringing him on team. How to actually defeat an enemy is to bring that person closer to you, to know what the person knows. To know what the person, but if you keep that person far away, the person might, there is a possibility that that's your enemy with it. But if you bring the enemy closer to know what the enemy knows, then there is probability that at the end of it, you still be the one to remain the leader, while that's your enemy will become your subordinate. But yeah, we have all seen what they have been doing on social media. But we all know this will not be waiting. It's not something that they will tell us, and then we know. We have everybody is now on smartphone. You have your Google, you have your Bing, you have any search, use any search engine. You can go out there and search for yourself. You no longer believe all these politicians and whatever comes out of their mouth, because they can say anything to save face. They fit say anything to save face. It is very disappointing that Sanwo-Olu. Anyway, we know that most of them are just puppets to their masters. We know that most of them are just puppets to their masters. They are just doing something to save face, and then tell their masters there, we are still with you. But him talking about Peter Obi did not build any school is very disappointing. It's very disappointing. Even when Peter Obi was still the governor of River State, and then what's his name? I don't know how I forgot the governor of Lagos State that was still on seat when Peter Obi was governor. In terms of education, Anambra State beat Lagos State. Anambra State beat Lagos State. Anambra was first in WAEC and JAMB. But that's aside. If you just want to find out for yourself, find out for yourself, check the internet. But what I want to say is, Peter Obi is as they are crying out for help, that we have everything it takes. If you listen, if you understand where he's coming from, he's saying that we have all it takes for Nigeria to actually become the giant of Africa. But there is something pressing down our neck, which is the leaders and their corruption. That is what is pressing against our. They choke us. It is choking us very hard, bad. It is really choking us.
Nigeria remains one country that have incredible potential for turnaround. We have, just like I always say about Africa, Africa, and I'll be using Africa and Nigeria, have immense potential in terms of natural resources, human capital. I know it needs to be trained, but we have young age, youthful age, 60% of our age, and youthful people, very dynamic, very talented, keep pushing the right way and everything, and all that. And in terms of governance, it's just organize, like I say, competent leadership based on doing the right things. And I believe